Okay, for today's experiment, I wanted to try out a comparison of 65% hydration, which is what I usually do, to a lower hydration percentage. I did 59%. So I've got 65% hydration in this one and a 59% hydration in this one. Everything else is the exact same. I've experimented with both in the past, but I've never done a side-by-side comparison. That's what we're doing today. The dough ball in the right is the one that has 65% hydration. As you can tell, it's actually a larger volume than the one on the left, 59%. So I'm gonna shape them out and see how the consistency is, the density, and all of that. Let's do the 65% hydration first. These are both raised in the fridge for over 20 hours and then about 2 hours at room temperature. So my normal recipe is 65% hydration. So this feels normal to me. I'm guessing the one with the lower hydration is going to feel a little more elastic. We'll see. That's about it. Yeah, I can really tell it's a lot heavier. A lot heavier, a lot more dense. Wow. It's really dense. It's going to be thick. It's not going to be as airy as the one with the 65% hydration. It's going to take longer to shape because it's so much more elasticy. It just keeps going back into its first shape. Yeah, it's probably going to be easier to toss because it is so elasticy. It's just going to take longer. Eesh. I've really got to work this out. So a long time ago, I read that for home ovens, you wanted to have a higher hydration because it requires a longer cook time than a commercial pizza oven because it's not as hot. So I've been doing that for years, but we'll see how it turns out side by side here. Yeah, this is just taking a lot longer shape. It's pretty strong dough. I mean, not surprisingly, it's strong. Keeps wanting to snap back into that original shape, but I'm getting it. I can tell already that the rim is going to be not very light and fluffy, at least not compared to the other one. Eesh. So that took, what, 4 or 5 times as long to shape? It still keeps wanting to shrink up a little bit. I'm just letting the gravity stretch it out. You don't want to use your hands, your force to stretch it out, or else it can tear a lot easier. If you let gravity stretch, then the fibers are stretching, according to their natural alignment. Okay. Yeah, the 65% is so much softer. they look about the same at first glance, but when I'm shaping them, I can really tell. But when I'm shaping them, I can really tell that the one is a lot softer than the higher hydration is a lot softer than the lower hydration. All right, we're at 610 degrees Fahrenheit, just about good enough. So let's do the one with the lower hydration first. $85 grams of cheese, 70 grams of sauce. All right, pop her in. All right, it's been 4 minutes. Pull it out. It looks pretty good. Let's do the other one and compare it. Okay, this is the dough with 65% hydration. Wow, it's so soft. Flip it over. So the circumference is also a little bit larger with this, just because it's so much softer and easier to shape. All right. Okay, so I tested the temperature a few minutes ago and it was still low. FYI, when I put the first pizza in, the pan was 608 degrees. When I took it out, I measured it, and the pan had dropped all the way down to like 555 degrees. So all the heat from that cast iron pan is getting absorbed into that pizza, so the temperature drops in that a lot. It takes probably 7-8 minutes for me to get the pan back up about 610 or even higher. So let's check it out. It should be ready by about now. Yep, 619. Okay, it's been 4 minutes. Let's check it out. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand holding the phone and one hand holding the pizza pill. Okay, so here are the two pies. This was the 59% hydration. This one's a 65% hydration. I was just touching them. I can tell this is more spongy, bready feeling, and this has some huge air pockets in there. So let's cut them open. Yeah, look at that. those huge air bubbles inside there. That's a pretty good looking slice of pizza. And I'm guessing we're going to see a lot more air bubbles throughout the whole rim. Yep, look at that. That's good. So let's come over here. Yep, as suspected. You can see that the rim is just more of that bread texture, more dense. A little bit thicker crust too. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, it's definitely thicker. Same thing other side, dense. So there's the difference. You can see with the 65% hydration slice, the rim is bigger, more airy. 59%, much more dense, and a thicker crust. Just because I couldn't stretch it out, I kept stretching and stretching it, and it kept contracting. That's just how it is. So let me do a little taste test. Very good flavor. Tastes the same. Both very good tasting crust. This whole slice just feels a lot lighter. The rim is much more airy, a little bit more chewy. I've got to say the higher hydration is the way to go. I mean, the bottom, about the same. Yeah, higher hydration is what I'm going to make in the future for sure.